starting on map number 2, to the right side, we have the FXO player. It is the one and only
FXO, Leenock.
The Leenock,
the strongest player for his team.
Yep. The reason why his team always goes to the GSL finals.
Then Gumio takes over.
Yeah. He gives him the keys. His opponent, to the left side of the map, always with that 10 overlord. Looks like he's going to go for a 10 pull again. He is.
Starting live.
Live today is showing us different builds from yesterday. He knows, of course, that Leenock had the chance to study his games. Not only the group mirror matches that Live had to play, but also the best of 5 games that he played against DRG yesterday. And today he's like, well, I'm just going to mix things up.
Exactly. And he just wants to change things up, keep his opponent guessing, you know. And that's one advantage that you get when you are the player who goes straight to semifinals. You have an extra day to watch your opponent. And in a matchup where we've seen just Zerg versus Zerg after Zerg versus Zerg in this matchup, just over and over, he's had tons of maps to study. He's had a lot of time. So Leenock has a lot of advantages here because knowing even if, for example, we don't have parting advance in our other round and Leenock advances, he doesn't face another Zerg who's also been able to study.
One of the most important series that these two guys played in the recent past was, of course, the final of MLG, where in the end Live took it with a 4-3 over Leenock. Leenock ended up being the runner-up in the series. But then we had another best of 3 between the two of them in the IGN Pro League, and this time Leenock just turned things around. Live did not win a map, Leenock took it with a 2-0. So they've encountered each other several times, 4 times in total that I can see here, maybe a little bit more often in online tournaments as well. They know each other's style, and they have played each other for a long time. They know exactly what's going on here. A lot of mind games, of course, happening therefore, and you can really see that Live wants to be the one who just initiates the next attack. He goes into expansion. He's not completely committed to this, but he tries to do a bit of damage here.
He's definitely going to damage the hatchery of Leenock at the very least, and may force some drones to come down here.
I actually think that he will be able to force a cancel at this point. We have the gas early for Leenock, so right now Leenock will of course wait as long as possible, but he has to make a very tough choice here. Either he defends with the drones or he starts to cancel it, and he decides to let it live. This will give him a few additional lava, but I'm not quite sure if he gets those Zerglings out in time to defend his hatch.
I'm not sure if he can actually save this. It's already down to half health, now down to 300 hit points. I think he's going to lose the hatch.
Yeah, he will.
He gets some larva, you're right, but is it worth it? That's the question. Either way, this is a big win for Live.
Yeah, at this point I really feel that it's not really worth it here. Got 2 lava out of this, and of course a little bit of time that he bought, but that's not really what he wants. He lost 300 minerals, and that's quite a lot, especially in this early stage of the game. But let's not forget that the guy already has his speed on his way, whereas Life is just trying to get the gas to start his own upgrade.
That's really important. Life needs to catch up with speed as soon as possible, but Leenock's production is going to be severely affected by this, so Life should be able to use his better production to actually get more lings out to defend, even if he's behind in speed, and then equalize. He also is going to have his additional queens a little bit faster.
As soon as Life realizes that speed is already on the way for Leenock, what he has to do is to make sure that he is safe here. He will get an extra queen, will try to block the ramp, and at the same time also maybe build a spike crawler at the bottom.
Sometimes players go Baneling Nest before speed in this situation just to be safe. But
exactly.
I don't think we're going to see that. Yeah, there's the speed. He comes out a little bit late, obviously, but he starts this mine, like you said. That's a great way to defend. He's going to set up his queens in a defensive position at the ramp as well, especially once he gets that third one out, which he hasn't actually started his third one yet. So he's just using all his minerals on Zerglings right now, as well as that spine crawler. And there's the Baneling Nest.
Baneling Nest for both of them now. The Spinecrawler also building, and now we have speed, and the Zerglings are already on their way, but the Queen's blocking the hatch, and he can't fight here. He can't fight. He can try to snipe a drone or two, but taking the fight at this point is not possible. He does not have the Zergling numbers just yet.
Exactly. He's only just using his speed to mess with Life a little bit here. You know, this is kind of cute, but it's not going to work forever. Now he gets out.
Yeah, the Spinecrawler is there, and this is the point where Leenock just has to back off, and he could not use the early speed yet. He has the Baneling Nest now, and now he has to make the choice, either just drone up or go into a more aggressive style, and he decides to take the Xel'Naga Watchtowers, get his own evolution chamber up, and try to drone up a little bit.
Yeah. He's got that extra gas still, you know? 286 to 142, putting him at about 100 gas ahead now that he's made those 2 Banelings. So We'll see what he has planned. He actually going to make 4 banelings. He's a little bit scared about Life's counterattack here. Life now with a significant lead in Ling production with that hatchery he's had for a while. He droned up. Now he's going for the Lings. He's making his own aggressive banelings. And now Leenock is the one who finds himself on a defensive starting carapace here. His queens are a little bit exposed, but the banelings were ready. That was not a good detonate, though. Only gets 1 Ling. The second one gets 1 as well. And Life may actually be able to overpower him here if he keeps losing banelings like this.
Yeah, the banelings for Life are now also being produced, and he still takes the lead in this game. And we have him with a 13 army supply against 10, and at the same time he also maintains a small harvester lead. Leenock is not getting in fault here though. He's also setting up his own defense, but he's still producing a few drones. And in ZvZ, as basically in every Zerg matchup, it's so important to know when exactly you can drone and when you have to build units. And Leenock and Life are making very good decisions here. But Life is always a tiny little bit ahead of his opponent. Also, now getting the lair tech a lot faster.
2 for 2 banelings there, neither player getting an advantage. Life, though, with that faster lair, you know, you're so right, he's going to get ahead in tech. There's nothing Leenock can do to catch up.
Life just has the better army supply. He has more units on the map, and as long as he pays attention... Oh my god, that was horrible! Losing all his Zerglings here. A small second of miscontrol, didn't realize where his Lings were headed, and then he loses every single one of them. Leenock able to take down a lot. That was really good for Leenock here.
Yeah, that was excellent for him, but he's still behind in supply and very behind in tech. The Roach Warren ahead for Life as well. He's got +1. That's going to be counteracted by Leenock's +1 Carapace, but it's better to have +1 for your Roaches than it is to have armor.
I would actually disagree on that point, because now with the +1 armor upgrade, he can not only use the Roaches that he's headed to, but he can also still use the Zerglings against his opponent's
I just
Roaches.
mean, yeah, actually you're completely correct. I just mean in the later stages of the game, when it's only Roach against Roach.
It's a little bit more expensive for him, but the good thing is that he is also completing it a little bit faster.
It makes sense for him to have it here in this case. Oh, he does not want to lose his Lings again like that. We saw it already happen once before. Oh, that baneling is going to go down with a terrible trade. Oh, nice defense. Almost saved it.
Life is still able to get a 20 supply lead, and that is really something, especially with him
The infestation pit.
getting the infestation pit also a lot faster. Leenock is just now getting it. I have to say that I'm really impressed by Life's performance. He has the 3rd base also started. Leenock, of course, doing the same thing here, but this is really intense.
Life has such great decision making on when it comes to when it's time to tech, when it's time to drone, where do I attack. He's just, I feel like he's outplaying Leenock on some slight margin of knowing exactly when to push the envelope with tech, knowing when it's safe, when it's okay. That was a decent baneling hit. Leenock trying to save his own banelings at this point.
Life already has 11 Roaches on the map, and he's playing this so smart. We have him with the fast infestors. They will have more energy in the battle later on. He also has the +1 attack upgrade. Nearly completed. He's of course lacking a little behind in the armor upgrade. We mentioned that earlier, but still.
Leenock really hitting his times with his upgrades well, though. As soon as that Carapace was done, he started his own +1, so he's going to catch up.
Oh wow, this
is really good. He needs to kill that queen, and he should be able to do it. There's no banelings nearby.
Exactly, no baneling on the high ground, and this is now risky. Even with the +1 attack upgrade, he can't do as much damage to the Zerglings as he wanted to. This is awesome for Leenock. He's taking down a few Harvesters. In total, he was only able to take down 4, though. 4 Harvesters and the Queen.
The Queen is really, really important. At this point now, he's down to actually 1 Queen. So he doesn't even have a Queen for his 3rd base. So he's going to miss a lot of injects. So Leenock now with a total of actually him having 2 Queens. He doesn't have that 3rd one up yet himself. He started it already, but that was a lot of damage done, and it also kept Life off of Leenock's 3rd base, where Life had him timing where he could have moved out with his better Roach count and some infestors, maybe pressured Leenock's 3rd, but now he doesn't have that opportunity anymore.
Yeah, still the big problem here for Leenock that Life maintains a small edge over him. The good thing for Leenock is that he always starts his upgrades a lot faster than his opponent. This is really worth a lot. We already have him on 1-1 and he's getting the +2 upgrade. This is where he just dumps all his extra gas in. Life decided to get the infestors out a little bit faster. He has more infestors, he got the Roaches earlier, but this means he only has a +1 attack upgrade.
Yes. Easily cleaning up these Lings, that is for Leenock, but a great fungal locks down these Roaches, also catches a baneling there. The baneling goes off, second fungal goes down, and Life is hitting his timing quite nicely here.
The Infested Terrans won't do a lot though.
Yeah,
immediately backing off, so that was a good move by Leenock. He does not take the fight. He's like, yes, dump your energy into Infested Terrans. I don't have to fight them. That's completely fine with me at this point.
Yeah, Leenock actually having some really good control in this series so far. The Infested Terrans, though, are actually now going to get a little piece of these Roaches because it needs to run over to the 3rd base to defend it. Now these Roaches getting very low on hit points, and Life just targeting down these roaches, or rather these drones. With 3 roaches, he can one-shot them. Really good trades here for Life. Doesn't lose his infestors, so that's really important because, yeah, he lost a lot of energy there, but he maintains his drone lead with those little pickoffs. He traded pretty well against Leenock's roaches and just keeps ahead here. Leenock, though, again, with the faster +2, his evolution chamber has not stopped researching this entire game.
Another hatch also now for Life. He really wants to have a macro hatch as well. He's not only relying on the 3 that we already see for him. Leenock is trying to push out a bit. They have the same amount of roaches, but in infestors, Life is really ahead of his opponent, and he also has a lead in harvesters. The saturation for him is simply better on those 3 bases.
Yeah, he's even adding more drones as we speak, something that Leenock is not doing at this point. He needs to get roaches out to make sure he can survive.
Leenock has a little bit of a bank through the entire time that he just now decided to use.
Oh,
and
no.
Helps him to catch up a little bit, but this is awful.
Yeah, Leenock losing 4 infestors here. It looks like he may get one of his opponents. Oh, not quite.
Ah, that was so close, nearly dead.
3 hit points on 2 infestors.
Yeah, they had 2 or 3 hit points when he finished with a fungal, but this is of course really annoying for Leenock. In resources, lost 1,000 more than his opponent, and Life is now, with the knowledge that he just took out these infestors, going into a 4th base.
Yep, he's just totally ahead at this point. You know, there's only 15 supply ahead, but so much of that supply in those infestors. Leenock trying to go for a little run by down here with his roaches. Leenock does have burrow for his roaches, so he can use those to hide them, to protect them, but also to regenerate his hit points.
A big problem for Leenock is going to be that Life has now a double evolution chamber that he uses, because Leenock's only advantage that he has at this point is that he's already ahead in the upgrades. He's on +2 attack and 1 armor now, and Life is behind, but with the double evolution chamber he will be able to close this gap very, very fast.
Look at the map. You can see, again, this is something stylistically Life has done in all of his versus Zergs. He kills overlords with infested Terrans. Leenock pulled most of them back already. He's lost the ones he didn't pull back. But if you look at Life's overlords on the map, they're all over every single choke point where Leenock can move out, so he has total vision of the map. And in fact, he's even sending an overlord over to spot where Leenock has sent his roaches to the bottom right, so he's going to see everything. He sees the roaches now, and he can react. So Life's vision is so crucial here, I feel like, in controlling everything that Leenock does.
And he's once again having the better supply. He has the vision, as you mentioned, so he knows what's going on the map.
He's going to go trap those roaches now.
And infestors are so important. He has 13 infestors to 5.
So this overlord coverage allows him to trap these roaches and kill them extremely cost efficiently. He takes a fight that Leenock would never want to fight.
Yeah, and Leenock can't move out. Leenock is trapped in his half of the map. He can't really do anything. Life has now completed the +2 attack upgrade. He will finish +1 armor fairly soon. Leenock once again with a better upgrade, going into +2 armor already. He will be on +2/+2 when Life is on 1-2 upgrades. But the issue is just like, this does not make up for the massive supply lead that Life has currently.
Yeah, the army supply is actually really similar, but it's only going to be that way once. So Leenock has to use this opportunity with his better upgrades. Right now, this is not going to be it, though. This is not his opportunity. He gets an investor here, but he loses too much.
If Leenock doesn't steamroll Life in a fight, then Life will remax because he has the back and Leenock has not.
That's exactly why sometimes we see comebacks in ZvZ, because one player will have that upgrade lead, and even if you don't have the economy your opponent has, there's a moment where you have the same army, then you crush his army with your upgrades, and you go for the counterattack. We saw Life actually several times. You know, with that really cool game on Daybreak, for example, he threw his drones away knowing, hey, if I have the better army supply, maybe I can still take the fight, even though I have no economy to back it up. It didn't work out, but
without the bank, Leenock has to completely crush Life's force and then go in before Life can remax. But the big problem is just that with so many infestors, 12-5 in favor of Life, this is highly unlikely.
Yeah, very unlikely. Leenock does have an advantage in Hydralisk, but you know that can also be a problem depending on how the engagement goes, because for example right now Life has the high ground and the top of these ramps.
He has the high ground, he's using the infested Terrans, he uses the fungals against the Hydralisk, he's in a good spot. Leenock is dropping in supply. Life has still 2,000 minerals and 1,000 gas.
A perfect
the army supply is also so much better for him, and he is just pushing all the right buttons. He's moving down now, taking down the Hydralisk. This is a brilliant engagement for Life.
GG, Life, man, he took the perfect spot. He went right up that ramp in between the bases, was fungling from the high ground, and Leenock fell apart. He didn't have a bank to remax.
Life once more with a 2-0 lead. The same situation he was in yesterday when he took the lead with a 2-0 against DRG. The MVP final boss came back, forced the 5th game. Maybe Leenock can do the same, but with the performance that we've seen out of Life in the last 2 games, I must say that is going to be one tough...
It's a hell of a task, man.
Yeah.
What an insane control we just saw of that game. To me, there's 2 big things about Life ZvZ that stick out to me. It's his map awareness with his overlords and how well he's able to deny his opponent's vision, but also his decision making about tech. He knows exactly when to get the tech.
Yeah.
It's really impressive to watch.
It was not that he completely dominated Leenock, but you could really see that there were no shaky moments in his play.
Yeah.
He didn't leave his opponent openings. He had small, subtle advantages that just accumulated at one point to give him a huge advantage. Then he got the better position in the fight, and the game's over. Leenock was just trying to overwhelm him, but he did not find the right angle to do it. So Live with a very, very solid ZvZ play, and I'm a little bit afraid of Leenock here, for Leenock here. This is not going to be easy at all with Live's shape that he's in right now, especially in this matchup. This looks like an impossible task.
It seems so, and they're about to play on Belshir Vestige, a map where neither player has a lot of history. It's a newer map in the GSL, so that's something that's going to present a little bit of a problem for them. But before we go into that map, we are going to take a 5-minute break. Get online, tell everybody about this tournament. This is the round of 4. People need to tune into this.
Exactly. Also, don't forget about ISC. If you use QuakeNet, then just go into #GSL. You can, of course, chat with the others that are watching the games live right now. And we are back after a 5-minute break, and then we will see the third game between Live and Leenock here at the Blizzard Cup 2012.